Hey guys, and welcome to game number 58 out of 100 of the Mack vs. Machine series, where I'll be playing 100 games of Scrabble against the top online bot, HastyBot. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. I believe HastyBot will be first in this game. Indeed he is, and he opens with pre-bid for 28. Bit of a vowel-heavy rack for us here. We've got 6 vowels, so we may want to consider an exchange. We could potentially play something like Pion over here for 14. It keeps AEO, which is quite vowel heavy though, so I'm not thinking that's worth it. We actually also do have apnea with the spelling with the extra O in it. This is probably worth it because that's 16. EO is not great, but it's definitely a little bit better than AEO. If I exchange, I'd probably exchange down to EN or something like that. And EN's better than EO, but it's not 16 points better, so I feel like this is probably good. Okay, he plays Z, and not the draw we were looking for here. We got more vowels in addition to the Q. And an exchange is possible here, but I guess QI is worth it though. It's 27 points. I mean, DEEOO is quite bad, but it's somewhat salvageable, especially with this C column. Like if I can draw a C for Cood or something like that, I'll at least be able to bail myself out. So I feel like for 27 points, it's probably worth it. It's not a play I enjoy making at all. And if I couldn't play QI there, I'd almost certainly be exchanging, but I feel like it's just barely worth it. Okay, he plays Belga, and not a good rack for us, although we sort of asked for it given our last play. And let's see, what can we really do here? We have Yuri, though, Uredo. Don't really see a good spot to play it. I could maybe do Rue over here. It's pretty bad. 10 points, keeps DEO, which is okay, but not great. Can't really parallel with this Z, unfortunately. I don't think I have anything here by way of 5 other words ending in a D, which would be ideal. Do I have anything good from this G? I guess I have Gourd. That's pretty bad too, though. It's only 12 and it keeps EO. The thing with Gourd or Rue is it opens so much for HastyBot that I'm not actually sure it's worth it. Like earlier, say when I was debating apnea versus exchanging, apnea didn't really open all that much more than was already open. Whereas now the board is pretty tight, there aren't any floaters, and I'm giving back a U and an E like that for 10 points. I don't think it's worth it, especially DEO is considerably worse than, say, DER. So I'm already making it back probably at least 5 points of my 10-point sacrifice on equity in leave by exchanging, and probably the remaining 5 I'm making back on defense. Because the nice thing now, too, is if he bingos, he's going to probably have to put a tile in the triple-triple lane. If he bingos above id, for instance, or on column C here, next to the A in apnea. Like, pretty much unless he bingos from this G in Belga, or hooking an S on apnea, he's going to have to open a lot if he bingos. So I think the computer probably won't like it, but I think I'm going to exchange 4 here. I feel like it's just a little bit more sound. Okay, so it sort of worked. We've got a much better rack here, and I guess probably wifey. It's 45 points. Oh, I did just realize he opened a tilt over here. I guess I can't really do much about that. I mean, I can. I could play, like, Fid or something like that, but it's just way too big a point sacrifice. So yeah, I think we gotta just play wifey and hope for the best in terms of him not getting a huge play with a tilt. It would really be rough to see Jack or something like that come down for 80. But I don't think there's much we can really do. Okay, so he doesn't actually use that spot. Maybe he didn't have an A with tilt. And we do pick up an A, but not a lot of good stuff to go with it. We might want to play Urari. I guess we could play it here for 27, or we could play it here for 26. Probably better off See, the thing with playing it here is we do take out the tilt spot, but we do give back this X spot over here. However, I know if he had the X on his last turn, I have to imagine he would have played Gox over here next to Wifey, making XI and OW, because that would have been almost 40 points. That would have been like 20 more than what he played. I can't imagine him playing Got saving the X when he could have played Gox. So given that, and he's playing 3 tiles and I'm playing 6, I might actually be the favorite to pick up the X here. So maybe this even benefits me more than it benefits him. And if I play Urari over here, I still leave open this a tilt spot. So he could still have big JA plays. Of course, I could make the same argument I'm more likely to pick up the other A, or another A. But there are 5 more A's unseen, so it's still a lot more likely he picked up an A than the X after Got, so that argument holds a little less weight, I feel like, for this opening. So I think I'm best off sacrificing the 1 point and playing Urari down here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So he bingos with actives. And do I have anything? Garters? I don't think that's good. I hope I'm not wrong. I feel like garters is not a word. Guarders. I'm pretty sure I've messed that one up before. I don't actually think that's good. And then let's see, there's Crusader through this C, which is not gonna fit. Don't believe there's anything through this T or this I. Radiuser, that's no good. Nothing through the V. Yeah, this UR duplicate makes it, or the R duplicate and the U makes it a little bit annoying. I just hope I'm not wrong that Garters is invalid. I'm definitely not going to play it because I don't think it's good. I would maybe play it in a tournament against some opponents just because it's not an easy word to be sure of or challenge. So I would definitely consider playing it against some players, but not against HastyBot, since HastyBot, of course, has, shall we say, respectable word knowledge, to say the least. So, given that, we probably have to make an annoying play of, like, playing Erd for 15 or something. Maybe Dura to at least take out this A. I was thinking if I play Erd, I keep open the A, but the A is actually not great for me because I already have another one on my rack. So it probably benefits him more, and I still don't want him scoring a ton and accumulating a quick 100-point lead. So probably Dura is fine. I just don't have a way to score more points, really, without completely blowing up the rack. Yeah, again, not too much fun to play for 15 points when you're down 83, but I just hope I'm not missing a bingo here, but assuming I'm not, I think this is fine. Okay, so he does get down Tux, unfortunately, in that spot we were looking at. I have a Master, which I'm pretty sure is good. And I don't think anything else. Don't believe there's any 8s through this T or through this I. So I think a Master here is the only thing we have. Okay. Well, this is actually not looking too bad now, because we're still down to bingo, but we've picked up the J, and we have Jest. There's no bingo here, right? Yeah, we aren't too far from things like Pulse Jet. I guess we're not that close, or Pulso Jet. But I don't think the JM combo is going to work here, so probably just Jest. Granted, Jest would actually be better than a bingo, unless the bingo scored like 90 anyway. So yeah, this has got to be fine. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Hemlocks for 221. Let's go. GG. And Nandina now is another bingo. Let me do it this way. What the heck just happened there? Wow. Okay. Well, we went from down by a lot to we're going to be winning by like 200 points in a span of 2 turns. We scored 299 in 2 turns. Welcome to Scrabble, folks. Crazy things can happen. And, yeah, I mean, now, obviously, this is completely won. It's just a matter of trying to figure out, I guess, what the best endgame is here. So he has EU, And he has 2 outs, does he? He has do over here. And what's his other out? Maybe he only has 1. Yeah, JEU doesn't fit. If that's his only out, I wonder if I'm best off blocking that. I mean, he can score with Vane still. So yeah, the question is, am I better off playing off tiles with like Fernery and then letting him go out? Since we have time, I mean, obviously the game is won, but let's try to solve this end game. So that would be 26. Minus 8 for the W is 18. He goes out for 5. So that would net me 13 when all is said and done. Maybe U would be a little bit better. So that's 29. Minus 12 for my rack is 17. Minus 5. So that's 12. So Fernery would be a little bit better. Freon over here. I don't think I have anything else. Yeah, is there a way I can block Do, of course without giving him another out, and also save a good out for myself next turn? That's the big question here. I can't, unfortunately, really do setups because I need to block Do first. Like, if I play... Well, no, I can't play Fen there. How about Wen? How about, like, Wen saving Friar? That looks pretty good, and he can't really block Friar. I also have Feign and Fry over here. So that's not bad. Because that's 19. I mean, that's certainly going to be better, because that's 19. His best play would be Vane for 14, so I'm netting 5, and Friar is 22. Yeah, that's way better. Okay. So I definitely should block his out. Yeah, nothing here with Guyan is going to be better. Yeah, probably Wen is fine. I mean, I'm almost positive he doesn't have another out, right? I'm not missing something. Yeah, Ute doesn't fit. Emu doesn't fit. I hope I'm not missing something. I'm going to look very silly if he goes out, but I don't think he is. So yeah, let's do this. Yeah, he just plays Vane, and now Friar to go out. Okay, so, wow. 597 to 370. Oh, I just realized I think Fry would have been 1 more point over here under a Master. Yeah, that would have been 1 more point. Oh well. Well, in any case, we wouldn't have gotten 600 either way, so not a big deal there. But yeah, what the heck just happened? I mean, it was like a really tight game, and then all of a sudden Hemlocks happened, and then Nandina happened, and then I won by 227. So yeah, crazy stuff there, guys. But let's go ahead and look at the earlier part of that game before things kind of got out of hand. So yeah, pre-bid. Here, I think Yapnoe has got to be correct. Payon, I don't think the computer likes it better. I don't think I would have played this over exchanging, but Apnoea looks clearly correct. So let's see. Looks like the computer is struggling with a lot of consonants while I had all my vowels. But yeah, Zed, I guess is fine. I mean, I hate 5 consonant leaves like that, but it's still 26 points. So, seems reasonable. Yeah, QI, I think, just barely worth it. Belga looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, there aren't a lot of good plays here that don't involve exchanging. I saw Rue. I didn't consider Boo, but DERU is not great. For 12 points, I don't think that's worth it. I saw Gord. I didn't like it. All these other plays, playing 3 tiles and keeping 3 vowels in a consonant, are pretty awful. Yeah, I'm good with exchanging here, guys. I mean, I guess it's a bit of an equity sacrifice. I get about 5 points, as I figured, but, I mean, DEO is... It's just worse than DER, and as I said, the position is so much better for me after this in terms of the board shape, because now most bingos he plays at least will force him to open something for me. And, yeah, weird play for him. I mean, I don't like that opening a tilt, but I guess he is also setting up stilt for himself, so maybe that's worth it. I mean, it's risky, right? He has a lead. I don't know, with 6 A's unseen, I don't think I would have made that play, but it's very aggressive. I mean, I don't want to say for sure it's wrong, but it's definitely aggressive. Wifey, I think, is pretty clearly best here. So yeah, he still leaves it open and plays Got, which I guess is fine. I mean, he doesn't really have any plays on the bottom. I mean, and it's like once you open it, you probably might as well just leave it and go all in, I guess is a reasonable argument. On the other hand, I did just give myself 5 more chances to pull one of the 6 A's, so it's kind of scary to leave that open. You could consider something like Got over here, actually, because it mostly blocks the tilt. It doesn't entirely. Obviously, something like Jags could still come down, but it makes it slightly harder to use. And it does set up this nice S line on the bottom, which actually can only be hooked with an S, because IT doesn't take anything other than an S. So maybe Got there, but at least with this, you're blocking the hotspot on column B. So I don't know. I don't hate this. Yeah, Orari, as I mentioned here, is 1 more point. But I figured, just given that he, at this point, has a much better chance at having the A and a big play there than having the X, that this would benefit me more in the long term. He plays actives. Ooh, Vadicides would have been cool. Obviously a worse play since it's 15 less points, but still cool nonetheless. Garters is good. Dang it. Yeah, I was pretty sure it wasn't. I don't know what I'm thinking of. That's too bad. Yeah, chickened out of a bingo. So very undeserved what happened later in the game. Yeah. That's that's too bad. I mean, I saw it immediately, but I thought it wasn't good for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I saw it in a game recently and it got challenged or something. I'm not sure. But in any case, just another reminder, I guess, of why I need to get back to studying a little bit more. But yeah, that's obviously a big mistake. I mean, Rude here is probably a better play anyway than Dura, just because it's 12 more points. Yeah, I think I probably just got a little bit too fixated on whether I was missing a bingo or not, and then my brain just didn't get too far beyond that. I was like, all right, I guess if not, I'll just play Dura. But yeah, I mean, if I don't bingo here, Rude is clearly better. I mean, it's not worth 12 points to keep an E in this position, especially when I'm down that much. But yeah, obviously, pretty massive mistake here not to play Garters. But okay, we continue. He plays Tux. I do at least find a Master, which is the only playable bingo. And then yeah, Ogie for 25 looks pretty good. You might want to consider Vise just to take out that spot with the J unseen. On the other hand, he did actually get pretty unlucky, because if we look, there's only 1 T unseen and 1 S for possibly Jess or Joss. So it's not that likely I'm going to hit him big there. On the other hand, this spot is still probably more dangerous than up here. And the nice thing is either of these plays save the other play, right? Ogie saves Vise and Vise saves Ogie. So I think he probably should play Vise first to take out the more dangerous spot. And I'm also less likely to block this. So I think it's more likely he'll actually get both plays in if he plays Vise first, and it takes out the more serious responses on my side. So I think Vise would have been a little bit better for him personally. But yeah, he plays Ogie, I play Jest, and then this is where the stupidity happens. I mean, Pelvic is not a bad play. He's up a little bit. He's not up a lot. And I mean, there are 2 blanks unseen that he'd really love to draw. So turning over tiles makes a lot of sense. Vino, I mean, you're up 40, but this is not a comfortable position. I mean, CELP is a decent leave, but it's not great for scoring. And you're not turning over a lot of tiles for 2 blanks and an S unseen. In clip, I mean, it doesn't really feel any safer than Pelvic. I mean, putting a C versus a P is sort of a toss-up. Maybe Vinnick, but I mean, I think I would have probably played Pelvic too, to be honest. Like, I could have anything after Jest, and you got to turn over some tiles to go for the blanks. Like, you're probably going to need at least one of the blanks to win this game if you're the bot. So, yeah, I mean, I think this play makes sense, but of course, I happen to have Hemlocks for 221. So, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, now, of course, the game is just completely over. He plays Ona, and just to add insult to injury, I pull Nandina out of the bag here for 78. He plays Ohias, and yeah, I mean, I could have played Fernery, as I mentioned, but I'm better off blocking his outplay, and then I proceed to only realize right after I hit my clock that Fry down here would have actually been 1 more point than Fryer, but pretty much a moot point at that stage of the game, and yeah, I end up winning 597 to 370. So just ridiculous. I mean, I miss a bingo and then get rewarded by hemlocks for 221 points and win the game by 227. Like, just ridiculous. And I mean, that's, that's what can be really cool about Scrabble and also really frustrating about Scrabble at the same time. It's like, it's frustrating because when you're on the receiving end of that, like if you're sometimes you play better than your opponent, for instance, and they just end up getting lucky like that and winning, or you feel like you're playing really well but just can't get the tiles you need. Of course, that can be really frustrating, but at the same time, this goes to show you just never know what's going to happen, and that's why it's important if you do make a mistake, or if you're like wondering if you made a mistake, don't focus on that. Just it happens, and it happens to the best of us, and if you do it, just move on, and it's the best player does not always win in Scrabble, and you can still play really well for the rest of the game after you made a mistake, and still come back with a nice victory. So yeah, I think that's the lesson to be learned from this game. Obviously, it went my way in this case, but there's definitely been many times it hasn't gone my way in similar types of sequences of events. But yeah, I mean, we'll take it. That's a big win for us. Nothing wrong with that. And I mean, yeah, other than that one turn where I chickened out of garters, I think I played pretty well. But yeah, I mean, obviously Hemlocks is just silly. I mean, he floats a C in the middle of a triple lane, which is not that dangerous a tile, and I draw HK out of the bag, and it just happens that I have Hemlocks in that exact spot in the triple. So yeah, like I said, from his perspective, I mean, what are you gonna do, right? Like, he didn't make a bad play; he just got burned for it, and that's part of the game. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. So hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, hope to see you all soon for game number 59. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and have a good one. Bye bye.